Is you okay? It's all my fault. I messed it all up.
Oh, dying like that? You know, feeling responsible for the death of the person you love, you're dying with that idea? Oh. And Hershel is dying knowing that he betrayed her group. Yep.
Out of my way, bitch. Hey there.
Talking like that to your boss?
We're talking to them now.
It's none of your concern.
The informant delivers. The threat has been neutralized. Also, Negan is on the island. I saw him with my own eyes.
Then where is he?
You're not the boss. She is your boss. He can't be the boss. He can be a good soldier for the boss, but he can't be the boss.
Kept me up all night, actually. So naturally the ending fizzled. And let's face it, everyone knows the ending is all that matters.
No, not at all. In particular in shows, movies, stories, not at all. We like a good end, but we want the journey.
They're here. It's just as you said. There will be those who try to bring it all back. The old laws and prisons. Protect and serve, but really like before, just to punish and steal and feed the fat bellies. You have to be ready.
Which is why we need him. Which is why you fucked up so royally.
I will find him.
Do you know Negan,
There's
or do you know
absolutely
Negan
no
through
way
him? Oh, I was really not expecting a new villain character like that 2 episodes before the end.
Ginny, take this. You're gonna need it on the way back to the bricks. Take it. I don't know what you saw in my bag, and I don't know when. But I'm guessing that you saw something. I never showed it your doll. Because I didn't even know if you were still here or where you were, if you were even still alive. Still can't let him know that you're here. Or else it all falls apart.
Yes, you didn't want also for him to know she was
I'll
there.
take you back.
For him to go after her.
And worse than that, he has my son. His name's Hershel. And Negan is the key to getting him back. You understand?
And she does.
How did you know? Right. Gym teacher. Why are you doing this? Oh, fun now. Why look they pin your death on me and I'm wanted twice as bad.
Also.
My brother. His name was Joel. We were close.
You're gonna tell him?
Got in fights. In and out of jail. Had problems we just couldn't see. He attacked my mother. So high, he didn't know what he was doing. They were too scared to do anything about it. It fell on me. Which left me
He was an addict.
I want to abandon him right back. Three years later, the city fell apart. Mom and Dad and I got out just in time, but it happened so fast. He was left to die. All alone. Is that what he deserved? Is it really so black and white? I don't know.
Oh, that's why it hurt him so much, you know, to see him, his brother like that. And your wife and your kid, Negan, you abandon them also. That's another good one, you know, the camera. I suppose that it's gonna go like that. Yes? Cool one, love it. Yeah. You're stuck? It's heartbeats, you know, the sound behind.
Go. Go, Steve, go! Now! Go! We can do it, go!
Yeah, I knew it! I talked about it, a mutated dead. With all of these things, for sure. How many heads do you need to destroy? I'm sorry.
Ginny! Ginny!
She ran like you told her to do. Eh? Okay, before leaving Maggie's place, and now? One day to okay. Ah, yes, two for something. For Negan. You didn't need Negan to save Hershel. You needed him to make an exchange. And Ginny, she saw that. Okay, the liar, it was for you. Okay. Oh, Maggie. I can understand, but I'm a little disappointed. Are we sure of that, kid? Not only Negan is gonna see it. No trailer, no spoiler. In particular because the next episode is gonna be the last and final episode of this season 1, this only season for this spin-off, so I don't want any spoiler about it. That was a good reveal right there at the end. To discover that Maggie, she went after Negan to help her, you know, to save Hershel, not only because she knew that it was a Croat, that they were friends, so maybe, you know, he could bait him and he would help. It was not to help, it was to be a money of exchange. The two things, you know, are making sense. For Maggie to ask for Negan to help because he knows the Croat, but also for Maggie to to search for Negan, to have that money of exchange and to lie about it during all of these episodes, all of this journey. Both things are making sense for Maggie, to accept it, to do it. I'm wondering, at some point, did she truly believe that she would go with Negan, to make a plan to go after the Croat? I think that she did at some point, because all of that plan, to enter into that place, the arena, to attack right there with this group, it was a plan which was going with the first solution, not the second. And now I'm wondering about all of their moments of discussion, all of what they said to each other, and all of this time when we saw Maggie witnessing Negan being the old Negan, and also when he was the new Negan, like, was she thinking, okay, the guy didn't change, so I'm right to do that, or in fact the guy changed a little, maybe I'm wrong. Was it a conflict, for her during all of these episodes? To really exchange Negan against Hershel? At some point, was it a conflict, for her? Like, I'm not doing something right, and, to sacrifice someone, even if it's Negan and she thinks most of the time that he's a monster, she's still Maggie, and, she still has all of these principles and values, and all of what Negan said about you're a little an hypocrite because at some point you killed also people who were father, who were brother, and all of that. So right there, to sacrifice him to save Hershel, maybe it's a little hypocrite, with our principles and values, not killing anyone. But at the same time, at some point she really tried to do it the first way, like, it's really making everything interesting, that reveal at the end. For Maggie to rethink about this entire season, with that new idea in mind, for Maggie it changed stuff. Knowing that, us knowing that, it wouldn't have changed anything about what she did, but about how she was feeling during these moments. We had just, the top of her feelings, the first feelings. Now we can understand that maybe it was deeper than that for her during certain moments. I said it during this episode was also interesting because the discussion that Negan was having with the Marshal, and also the discussions, Maggie talking to Ginny, it was interesting because in fact it was Maggie and Negan talking together again. Like Negan trying to convince the Marshal that he's not that bad, that he killed these people because he had good reasons, that the Marshal don't know the real reasons, that he changed, all of that. And also for Maggie trying to convince that Negan is a monster, she can't continue to follow him, to trust him, she would be better without him and all. It's the same then Maggie saying to Negan again and again that he's a monster and she's never gonna appreciate him, his presence or whatever. And it's the same then Negan saying that Maggie is a little hypocrite and that he changed and that he's really trying his best. It was the same discussions, but with different people. The fact that Ginny knows the truth about Maggie's intention, and right there, that's why she wrote liar and she never trusted Maggie, in fact. Even if now she knows the truth about Hershel, she heard it, that story, and she was like, okay, I understand. But still she doesn't accept, and that's why she was the one to write liar, and she was acting like that all along. The Marshal and Negan, it was nice, these discussions about his brother, about the fact that the Marshal felt like he abandoned him, he left him all alone, living all of these last moments into that hell all alone, and that now he's feeling guilty about it. We know that Negan, with his wife and his kids, for now he doesn't want to search for them, to find them. He wanted also to abandon Ginny. So the fact that he just hurt someone who did it, who abandoned someone that he loved and he regrets it, maybe it can help. And Negan right there, he truly helps the Marshal. He couldn't leave him behind. He changed! Negan, he changed. Before, he wouldn't have hesitated, to leave that Marshal behind. Even more because he's someone who is after him. But right there, he helped. He offered that deal, but no matter what, he helped. And that place, the school with that person who went crazy, who was doing all of that, who killed himself, herself like that. That was weird. These deaths, I knew that we would have death moments during this episode, with where Maggie and the other ones were going, that was logical. I expected some mutated deaths because I wanted to have a response to the fact that they were beginning to mutate, at the end of The Walking Dead, the original show. But I didn't expect a creature like that at all. That was a good one. Cool. Amaya and her guy dying. For the show itself, I understand the fact that they are killing them at some point during this show. Because of the fact, to keep them, to write something for them, for their evolutions, their personal evolutions, but also the evolution of their relationship, to take time to describe a future for them. Like, all of that, it would have taken time, on the show, and we need still a lot of time for the main characters, for saving Hershel, for closing the narrative arcs of this spin-off. So I can understand why, for this show, at some point, they had to die. But to die like that, it was awful because that was awful because she suffered a lot, but also because she died thinking that her guy betrayed her, betrayed all of her group, was responsible of their deaths and all. And he died thinking that he was responsible, seeing how much he's feeling guilty, like really, he died saying that. That's awful. I didn't really make connection with them. I was not feeling attached to them. When, for example, for the Marshal, I really care about him. His story with his brother was really great, and when he discovered him, like, I felt stuff. This actor is really great also. These two characters, Amaya and her guy, I never connected with them, but still, that death, I can say that it was an awful one for them. So yes, one more episode to finish everything. And by finishing everything, I mean for Ginny, Maggie and Negan to be reunited at some point, for going after the Croat and that new woman, I didn't talk about her, who is in fact the true villain because the Croat is obeying to her. When I discovered that during the episode, I was surprised because to introduce that character at the end of the spin-off, it feels a little weird, but at the same time for the Croat, his character, it feels logical that he's not the boss. Not truly. He was never the boss. He was always, the good soldier, the perfect soldier that you need, but not the boss. And her, she's really manipulating him. I didn't understand if she knew Negan before or she knows him through the Croat. I'm not so sure. But still, we need that for Negan to also meet her, to deal with the Croat, to close all of that thing. I think that it's gonna be a long episode. The last one, the final episode of this spin-off, it has to be. With all of the things that we need to do during this final episode, we'll see. And I'm gonna see that next week with you guys. You're gonna have the videos for this final episode on the usual day, meaning for Patreon it's gonna be on Monday and for YouTube it's gonna be on Tuesday. With an extended reaction part, I think, like for this episode. Again, if you want to see my reaction videos about The Walking Dead Dead City, you just have to subscribe to the level 2 on my Patreon if you can be interested, and it would be appreciated, if you want to support me. It can be great. Okay, It's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.